Spring forward. Think spring. You, me, and everyone I know is looking forward to spring this year. I'm so anxious for it to arrive that yesterday I started thinking up meals that I classically associate with spring. In about a minute, I came up with my boneless lamb roast with creamy au jus and cheddar and mint smashed potatoes. We've got a lot to do, so let's get started. Lamb is classically associated with spring because up until recent history, lamb was only available to us in the United States in the spring. We have our Australian and New Zealand friends to thank for devoting vast pastures of land to the raising of sheep, which gives us a high quality product all year long. I've got a 4.5 pound lamb roast. It's boneless and it's from New Zealand and it is a beautiful piece of meat. I'm going to season it very, very gently, but liberally with just 3 things. I've got my garlic powder. Just get that all over the surface. A nice fresh grinding of sea salt. And I like lots of pepper, so peppercorn blend, which is a mixture of 5 different kinds of peppercorns. Now in my family, everybody likes gravy with their lamb. And in order for me to get enough of drippings out of a boneless lamb roast, I have to kind of help it out a little bit. What I've done is I've put 2.5 cups of beef stock, 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, and 3 tablespoons of my favorite steak sauce in this container. Feel free to use your favorite all-purpose steak sauce as long as it's not a barbecue flavored steak sauce. I'm just going to whisk this together. And I'm going to put half of this mixture in the bottom of my roasting pan. Let's take a look. That's about half. And I'm going to put the other half in the bottom of a skillet. All that's left to do is pop this into a 375-degree oven for about an hour and a half. And after an hour and 15 minutes, I'm going to start checking it with an instant read meat thermometer. Then I'm going to take it out and let it rest for about 15 or 20 minutes before I slice it. And I want the internal temperature to be somewhere between 140 and 145 degrees when I take this out of the oven. I've cooked and drained 4 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes. Feel free to choose your favorite, but I really like these not only for their pretty color, but for their creamy texture. And I have cooked them till they're just fork tender. They've got just a little bit of to the tooth in the center of them. Now while they're still steaming hot, I'm going to add some butter. And I add to 4 pounds of potatoes a full stick. Now I'm going to add some spices, and I've got some salt and some white pepper. You can add black pepper. I like white because I like white in my potatoes, white with white. And 4 tablespoons of dried mint flakes. And if you've never tried mint in your mashed potatoes, you are going to love me when you do. And mint is classic with lamb too. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 8 ounces of grated cheddar cheese, white cheddar, because everything tastes better with cheddar. And I'm just going to give this a rough stir. And now I'm just going to close the lid for a minute or 2 just to let the butter and the cheddar melt, and then we'll add our cream and start to smash the potatoes. Oh yeah, butter's almost all melted through to the bottom, cheese is melted. I'm just going to give this another rough stir. Oh, yum. Smells wonderful. Now it's time to start adding cream. And the thing about cooking potatoes is you never know exactly how much cream or milk you're going to add. So I'm going to start with a half a cup to begin with, because I know I'm going to use at least a half a cup. And now starts the smashing process. And these potatoes literally are going to be smashed, not mashed. They're going to be just a little chunky, which is why I left them to the tooth. And this is a process of smashing and stirring. You got to stir it to the sides of the pot. And we just keep doing that and adding cream till we get our potatoes to the consistency we want them. Remember that half of the drippings that I put in the bottom of this pan? Well, I've brought them to a simmer and they've been simmering for about 5 or 6 minutes. So they're kind of reduced and all the flavors are really, tasting wonderful in there. Now I'm going to add the drippings from the bottom of the roasting pan. And this is about what's left, a little, maybe a cup. And I'm going to add them to these drippings. If they get a little stuck, it's because there's some bits and pieces in here. There we go. I'm going to stop when I get to that fat. That's plenty. We don't need fat in this. I'm going to bring this to a real gentle simmer, almost a no simmer. So it's really at a nice steaming hot stage. And now I'm going to add some of the leftover cream that I didn't put in the potatoes. You really don't have to add cream to this at all, but I just love the way it mellows out the flavor of those pungent lamb juices. And you can add as much as you want. I usually go with about 6 tablespoons. Yeah, that's beautiful. And now I'm just going to simmer this for about 5 more minutes, just till it thickens up a little bit more. We're going to carve our lamb and eat our feast. I'm serving my luscious celebration of spring feast with buttered biscuits and baby peas, but in-season asparagus would be a lovely alternative too. For these and other Think Spring ideas, just go to my website.